Foreign Minister is jet-setting to Egypt today ahead of a number of high-level meetings in Europe. In the coming days, Winston Peters will visit Cairo, Warsaw, Brussels and Stockholm, arriving home before Parliament sits next week. Political editor Jason Walls has more.
Part of Peters' whirlwind trip will focus on the situation in Gaza. He says his travels will allow New Zealand to share information and perspective with a range of interested parties and coordinate on broad international action. Peters will also attend the NATO Foreign Ministers meeting in Brussels, where he says he will convey New Zealand's demands for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza.
The Union for Postal Workers is looking at legal challenges with hundreds of jobs expected to go at New Zealand Post. The Postal Service says couriers will deliver mail as it's more commercially viable. The Postal Workers Union says it may be breaching the State-Owned Enterprises Act. Employment law expert Mei Chen says part of that act talks about what a successful business is.
It talks about the fact that they want state-owned enterprises like New Zealand Post to operate as a successful business and to this end to be as profitable and efficient as comparable businesses that are not owned by the Crown.
A strong earthquake has shaken western Greece, with residents feeling strong tremors, but there are no reports of damage or casualties. The quake had a magnitude of 5.8 and was around 20 kilometres below the seabed off the west coast. A tsunami warning has not been issued. Salaries appear to be outpacing inflation. The SEEK advertised salary index rose by 1% in February compared to the previous quarter. The year-on-year growth of 5% is ahead of inflation at 4.7%, with healthcare and medical seeing the fastest growth in advertised salaries. SEEK Country Manager Rob Clark says it's also faster than what's been reported in Australia.
So in the latest quarter in New Zealand, advertised salaries grew by 1% and the corresponding figure in Australia was 0.7%. So we're growing slightly ahead of them.
It's time for hunters to get their licence ready ahead of the game bird hunting season. The season opens early May. Fish and Game Officer Richard Cosgrove says it's a family-focused sport and bag limits and hunting hours must be followed. He says the licence system ensures people can continue to enjoy sustainable free-range game birds. And people are going off the grid this Easter as Airbnb reveals its top trending locations. Cromwell, Waihi Beach and Raglan are all leading the searches for regional holidays this year. Joey Dwyer has more.
Australian hotspots like Noosa Heads, Byron Bay and the Gold Coast are some of the most desired destinations for those wanting an overseas break close to home. South Africa and the UK are also among the most searched overseas locations. When it comes to the type of accommodation travellers are looking for, tiny homes, cabins and camping are all within the most searched categories.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.